What's up, guys? It's me, Zealand, here today with.
Jensen.
So he's my friend that I met at sports broadcasting camp 2 years ago. We decided to make this video because all my videos have been by myself. And the reason we're on a Zoom call is he lives over in Utah. I live here in California. But we met at camp at a different location. But want to make this video because all my videos are by myself and it's not getting interesting. So I thought it'd be cooler to have another person on, talk about a couple topics. So our three topics today are who we think is going to win the national championship in college football, who are our top four NFL quarterbacks, and who was doing the best in MLB free agency until the lockout occurred. So first, we're going to start out with the NCAA. Jensen, who do you think is going to win the national championship?
I'm going to have to go with Cincinnati Bearcats. I'm glad that they've finally gained respect from the committee, and they have a chip on their shoulder. And the teams that have no one really respects them, they perform better because they have something to prove.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati is a very good team. And also, if you didn't know, the top four teams that the committee gave for the CFP college football playoff is Alabama number 1, Michigan at 2, and Alabama at 3. Georgia at 3, and Cincinnati at 4. So Alabama is playing Cincinnati, Georgia's playing Michigan. I honestly think the national champion is going to be Georgia. Anyone would really say Alabama, but I don't like Alabama, and I just feel like they had so many close games. Almost lost to an unranked Auburn team. They lost to an unranked Texas A&M team. They had a lot of close wins. Looked not that good. Georgia was undefeated until this moment. Yeah, of course, now they do have a loss because of Alabama, but number 1 team the whole time. Awesome team. I like watching them play, and I honestly think they're going to be hosting the trophy at the end. Do you agree with that, or are you really sold on Cincinnati? What, is Cincinnati just because they're an underdog, or is there some stats behind that reason?
Probably just because of the underdog. I'm sure there's definitely some stats behind it. I mean, you look at their record; they're undefeated. They're only an undefeated team, and I think they want to hold that title by the end of the season. And just everyone loves an underdog, and I think a lot of people want them to win. So I think that can give them some motivation.
I do think too, though. Yeah, the really only reason for this Georgia pick by me, because Cincinnati would be my number 2, but Georgia, I don't know, looked like a really tough team. Yeah, they lost by, I think, 17 to Alabama. What? Are you going to say something?
No.
No. Okay, sorry. But Georgia, yeah, they didn't have the greatest schedule. It was a lot easier than some of the teams, but I still think they're going to pull through. Our next subject is our top 4 NFL quarterbacks as of right now. What are your top 4?
At number 1, I have Aaron Rodgers. Number 2, Tom Brady. 3, Dak Prescott for the Dallas Cowboys. And 4, Joe Burrow. Reason why I have Aaron at number 1 is because even though he missed those couple of games, these past 2 weeks he's had over 300 passing yards with 7 touchdowns, I believe, with 0 turnovers. He's performed really well. He's had a couple of rushing touchdowns, so he can show that he can run, and he has a 1.1 interception rate.
Yeah, that's a good top 4. I like it. My top 4 is a little bit different. So I know I haven't really been keeping up with the QBs lately, but this is my top 4 as I've seen. Kyler Murray at number 1. Love watching him play. Really good. Aaron Rodgers at number 2. Also still good, even though he's getting on the aging side. Dak Prescott at number 3 for the Cowboys. And number 4, even though he has not been playing it like it in the past games, Matthew Stafford. I know that one might be debatable because, yeah, he looks like a Goff 2.0 right now. Yeah, throwing a lot of interceptions. Well, not a lot of interceptions, but lots of incomplete passes, interesting decisions. I guess a lot of it is by the coaching, but I think he'd pull it around. I still think he's in the top race for MVP, not number 1. I think that's Kyler, but I do think he's a good quarterback and definitely a top 4. With yours, Tom Brady, I just can't see him in the top 4. feel like he's always had a really good team behind him. If you put him on a team like, sorry, the lighting is bad right now. If you put him on a lower team, I think he wouldn't have 7 rings. Like you put Dak Prescott on the Patriots, gave him a 20-year career, I think would have kind of done the same. But yeah, so what are your reasons for having Tom Brady at number 2? And I do think, even though I like him, Joe Burrow, why is he in the top 4 in your opinion?
Well, are we talking about the best teams in the NFL, or are we talking about the best quarterbacks? If we're talking about the best teams in the NFL, then yeah, the Buccaneers should be up there. But if we're talking about quarterbacks only, like you say, he has a team to back him up. But we're talking about his play only, and I just think he's so old, like, and he just continues to dominate. And he's not the greatest runner, everyone knows that, but just a quarterback has to do what he does. He has to feed to others, and he makes big plays. And then Joe Burrow, super improved player. I'm really excited to see him play after he suffered an injury last season. I just don't like Kyler Murray because I feel like the Cardinals have played some bad teams. And also a thing with Kyler Murray, when they were undefeated, who did they lose to? Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. So I would still have Aaron Rodgers number 1. Joe Burrow, that is debatable, but I just like him seeing him play. I think he's improved a lot, and he deserves to be in my top 4.
Yeah, I do agree that Joe Burrow, I think he is underrated, has been playing very good for someone that people are making fun of him because of his injury in his rookie season, but I do think he is very good. Yeah, the only reason for my Tom Brady comment is I just feel like his play is elevated by a good team, and that if we brought him down a little bit, he wouldn't be playing that good. In the Super Bowl, you saw all of his plays were short dump offs to Leonard Fournette, and the one time he tried a 30-plus yard pass was like Chris Godwin wide open, missed it by 15 yards. That was a touchdown if he made it, but a respectable top 4. And finally, our last subject is who we think was doing the best in the MLB free agency in the offseason, who is getting the best players to their team before the lockout occurred. What's your team?
The Mets. I think that's no surprise there. They're definitely one of the winners. Filled some holes in the outfield and the infield, signing Starling Marte. He's, age is catching up to him, but he gets on base really well, and he's letting stolen bases a lot. I think it's really going to help them. And then also Eduardo Escobar in the infield. And then the big reason, of course, is pairing Max Scherzer with Jacob deGrom, 2 of the best pitchers in the MLB right now.
Yes, I do agree that a pitching combination now, deGrom and Scherzer, is very good. That was a very good offseason by the Mets, and I do think they are one of the best teams, but I'm going to have to go to the Rangers here. They signed Marcus Semien, Gold Glove player for the Blue Jays this last season. Really good. He was a shortstop, right? I think he played at second base with, so shows that he can go over. And then they signed lots more players like that, like John Gray, David Garcia. Then that, but I think the biggest accusation was Corey Seager. Yes, he was injury prone on the Dodgers. He started letting down. I think he was the one that had Tommy John surgery like 2-3 years ago. I feel like he was declining after that. But really good player. And now with Marcus Semien and Seager, that inner infield, I feel like that's a really good. And the fact that, yes, I know this is about who won it as of right now, not who they could get in the future. If they get Clayton Kershaw after the lockout is over, which I think, if he doesn't stay with the Dodgers, he will go there. That'd be good for him. Hometown. He's from Dallas. I think he'd go there. But I think that Seager Semien ad is just enough to give a bad team like the Raiders, all these other pitchers and people they got, that really makes them look like they're contending for that AL West division. So I want to know, is really Scherzer the only deal breaker for you to say the Mets, or is Escobar another big reason you said the Mets?
Well, I just like Max Scherzer is really good, and him and deGrom are going to do really well. But yeah, Escobar is really good. They, like I said earlier, they need some holes to fill on the infield. The Mets, they didn't have the best season last year. I feel like they could have performed better, and I think adding some players can help them improve. Obviously, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's it really for today. We are going to try to do multiple of these types of videos where it's me, him, this is a Zoom. Um, we also have another friend who might be on this sometimes. This isn't the only time you're going to see me with another person. Sometimes I'll have my friend, as you saw in my first video, is my friend Patrick. He lives next to me, so when he's with me, it'll be in person. But when he's on here, it will be a Zoom. I'm gonna try to do a little bit more of these over the next month or two. But thanks for watching. I'm Zealand here with Jensen on Between Innings. Thanks for watching. Peace.